A summer transfer window where Spurs have spent £180 million, officially 8 players in, 20 out, either on a permanent deal or on a loan deal. Kolo Muani signing for Tottenham on transfer deadline day on a season-long loan from PSG. Manor Solomon has joined Villarreal on loan, and Bryan Gil leaves the club after 4 years to join Girona for £8.6 million. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Chris Cowlin here. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I began for all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Now, before I get started, I'd just like to say a big thank you to all of you for watching in the last 30 days. Over 9 million viewers on YouTube in the last 30 days. Unbelievable. So thank you so much for all of your incredible support. We are also up to 187,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. As I said, your support is really appreciated. Now, let's start by saying that the transfer window is now officially closed. It closed on Monday, 7 p.m. UK time. Now, an hour later, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club announced the signing of Kolo Muani on a season-long loan from PSG, subject to international clearance and a work permit. In the club statement, it then went on to say the 26-year-old France international will wear the number 39 shirt. The player said, "I'm really happy and proud to be at such a great club. I can't wait to meet my teammates, all the fans, and get out on the pitch." Kolo Muani then went on to say, "I know what the coach expects of me. I will fight hard for the shirt, the club and the fans. I will give everything for the team." Thomas Frank, on the signing of Kolo Muani, said Randall is a quality player who has proven himself over a number of years, playing for big teams in the Champions League and also with good experience for the France national team. He is a good age, in his prime of his career, has good qualities that will suit us and the Premier League, and gives us a different option in the final third, being able to play out wide and through the middle. We're all excited for what Randall can add to the squad, and I'm looking forward to working with him. Now, following the departures of Bryan Gil and Manor Solomon, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club released another couple of short statements. The one on Bryan Gil, it says, "We have reached an agreement with La Liga side Girona for the permanent transfer of Bryan Gil. Having joined the club from Sevilla in July 2021, Bryan made his debut for us in the UEFA Conference League fixture against Pacos de Ferreira the following month. Later spending time on loan at Valencia, Sevilla and Girona, he made a total of 43 appearances in our colours. We wish Bryan all the best for the future." After leaving Spurs for Girona on a permanent deal, Bryan Gil wrote the following on social media: "It's been 4 years since I joined the club. Today our paths go different ways after a long time together, and I didn't want to leave without saying thanks for everything I've learnt and for having the chance to be a part of this club. I wish you and will always wish you the best, Tottenham Hotspur." Now, regarding the fee that Tottenham Hotspur will receive from Girona for Bryan Gil, it is around £8.6 million, the equivalent of €10 million. This was reported by The Standard and Football.London. The Standard actually said Girona will pay Spurs £8.6 million for Bryan Gil. The winger will leave the club on a permanent deal after 4 frustrating years at Spurs. Now, it did look like that Manor Solomon would be staying in the Premier League and going out on loan to Crystal Palace. That deal fell through. Now, the club statement on Manor Solomon has joined Villarreal on loan for the 2025-2026 season. Joining us in July 2023, Manor made his debut for us the following month as we ran out 2-0 winners over Manchester United in the Premier League. He has made 6 appearances in our colours to date. The 26-year-old spent last term on loan at Leeds United, making 41 appearances and scoring 10 goals as they earned a return to the top flight by clinching the Championship title. To date, Manor has 44 caps to his name for Israel, scoring on 7 occasions. So to recap Tottenham's summer transfer window, Spurs officially brought in 8 players. João Palhinha from Bayern Munich on loan. Mohamed Kudus, £55 million from West Ham. Xavi Simons, £51.8 million from RB Leipzig. And of course, on deadline day, Randall Kolo Muani on a season-long loan from PSG. Other players that have joined officially in this window, Matisse Tel, Kevin Danso, Kota Takai and Luka Vluskovic. And officially, a lot of players have gone out the door, either on a permanent deal or a loan deal. Sergio Reguilon, Fraser Forster, Alfie Whiteman, Timo Werner, Heung-min Son, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Brian Hill. And the loan deals, Manor Solomon, Devine, Yang, Phillips, Valise, Moore, Dorrington, Abbott, Donnelly, Ajayi, Hall, Vluskovic and Lancashire. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode, and let me start by thanking everybody again for watching this channel. In the last 30 days, 9 million views is just unbelievable. So thank you so much for all of your incredible support, subscribing to the channel, etc., and also listening to us on an audio platform. The numbers have been insane lately, so thank you so much. Now, my thoughts on the transfer window. We spoke to a number of Spurs fans from all around the world on Monday night, leading up to the actual deadline of 7 p.m. on UK time, and then a couple of hours after that, we spoke to a number of fans, and the majority were very happy with the window. Did we get everything done in this window? No. Will Thomas Frank be happy with this window? Yes. And I feel pretty optimistic about what we did in the window as well. I think if you'd have asked anyone at the start of the window, would you be happy with 3 starters coming in, literally walking straight into this team? And by me saying that, I mean João Palhinha as the number 6, a real quality player. I feel like he's going to be really, really decent in this Tottenham Hotspur team. Mohamed Kudus, we have seen moments of magic from him already, £55 million. I feel like that is an absolute steal from West Ham United. Xavi Simons, a real statement signing. Cannot wait to see him in a Spurs shirt playing. And, it looks highly likely that he will make his Premier League and Tottenham Hotspur debut away at West Ham after the international break. Cannot wait to see that. £51.8 million. Of course, there was so much speculation. Spurs tried to get the Morgan Gibbs-White deal done. They then tried to get the Eze deal done. Those 2 deals didn't work out. Spurs went after Savinho. They went after players like Semenyo. I could literally name 100 names that Spurs have looked at, gone after and tried to sign. But those 3 will walk straight into this Spurs team. And I think if you'd have asked anyone at the start of the window, would you be happy with 3 players, 3 real quality players walking into this team? I think a lot of people would have said yes. Of course, you're always going to get some people that are never, ever going to be happy. Even if we signed 11 really good players, people would still find something to moan about. But that is the world we live in. Randall Kolo Muani, I feel like, is a really, really decent and very clever signing. Of course, it was on transfer deadline day. It's all about opportunities on transfer deadline day. Spurs tried to sign Randall Kolo Muani in January. Of course, he went to Juventus. But a season-long loan, I feel like, is a very, very clever move because he is a player that can play through the middle. He is a player that can play on the left and the right. He's very, very versatile. He brings, quality and experience, like Thomas Frank said in those comments there that I read out. Xavi Simons, this signing, I feel like is going to be absolutely brilliant. So, in terms of a lot of people saying we didn't get a left winger in, we know that we have a number of players in this squad that can play on the left-hand side. Johnson, we've got Richarlison, we've got Tel. You've even got Xavi Simons. Thomas Frank said in the previous press conference after the Bournemouth game, the 1-0 loss, he said that Xavi Simons is either a number 10 or left wing. So he certainly sees him in that position. I know a lot of people are saying about the defensive cover. We haven't got enough defensive cover. I feel like a lot of people are forgetting that Radu Dragushin is coming back. Of course, Ben Davies is there. Kevin Danso is there, depending on what formation Thomas Frank wants to play, whether he goes with 4 at the back or 3 at the back with wing backs. So it's going to be interesting. But we've added a lot of quality to this squad. And then, of course, you've got the 3 players that walk in straight into the team. It might be me disrespecting Kolo Muani, saying that he doesn't walk straight into the team. I feel like when Richarlison is on the form that he has been, certainly in the first 2 games, Burnley and Manchester City, he will certainly start. We're hearing reports that Dominic Solanke may be out for some time, although he was pictured in the gym on Monday. He posted on Instagram. So let's see how that pans out. But Dominic Solanke has had injuries since his arrival from Bournemouth, and we know the injury record of Richarlison. So this, Randall, Kolo, Muani coming in, this is really good cover, and this is a very clever move from Spurs, because it's funny, because after the Bournemouth game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday, Frank was asked, are you going to be bringing in another forward or a striker? And he said, no, I'm happy with Richie. I'm happy with Dominic Solanke. So, the club must have thought about this and thought, look, there's an opportunity there, to bring someone else extra in and to add, that depth, which I absolutely love. This window is about experience, and it was also about the depth. And we have added, like I've said before many times, a few injuries to this squad could derail us. It could derail any team in the Premier League. There has been a lot of business going on in the Premier League this season. So, and I always feel like there's a lot of responsibility on Thomas Frank's shoulders to get the very best out of players, to try and squeeze the best out of players. We've seen him do that at Brentford, certainly in the 4 years that Brentford have been in the Premier League under Thomas Frank. And let's hope that we see it now under Thomas Frank at Tottenham, getting the very best out of players, because we know that this squad is capable, of a lot more than finishing 17th in the Premier League with 22 league defeats. So, we were all on a high 2 games into the Premier League season, and then of course we all come falling down again. The Bournemouth game on Saturday, but I feel like it was a very bad day at the office, and I feel like Thomas Frank will learn a lot from that defeat. And of course, we've got Maddison out, we've got Kulusevski out. So when those 2 players come back as well, that adds a little bit more creativity in that final third. A lot of players have gone out the door as well. Manor Solomon, of course, he will be able to play against Spurs in a couple of weeks' time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. How weird is that? He'll get more time, in someone else's shirt than our shirt this season. But he will be able to play against us in the Champions League in a couple of weeks' time, and Kolo Muani will be able to play against PSG. It's the new rules from UEFA, so that's going to be interesting. £8.6 million for Bryan Gil from Girona. I feel like this is the right thing to do. Bryan Gil wasn't even given a squad number for this season, so wish him all of the very best. 4 frustrating years for him, 4 frustrating years for the club, I've no doubt, and 4 frustrating years for a lot of us fans. All I remember really of Bryan Gil, that a memory sticks out, he had a good game at Crystal Palace. Apart from that, not really a lot of highlights. Manor Solomon's only played 6 games for us. A couple of assists against Burnley in one of Angie's first games as Spurs boss. So, wishing a lot of these players all of the very best who have left on a permanent deal. And, of course, a lot of the academy players that have gone out on loan. So wishing them all of the very best as well. And Luka Vlaskovic's comments, a very, very mature player for such a young man, very mature in his attitude, both on and off the pitch, and wishing him all of the very best for his loan at Hamburg. Let's hope that he can get a lot of game time, and he's got a very big future ahead of him, as have some of these other young players as well that have gone out the door. So good experience for these youngsters, this season. So enjoy the international break, everyone. We will be back again. We will keep coming back with daily updates, 60-second updates, Tottenham news videos, keeping you up to date with all of the players out on international duty as well. Have a good break, and we will see you soon. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Have a great rest of the week, and I will see you on the next one. Until then, come on, you Spurs.